Hello. Hydrate or dihydrate? Okie dokie. So, we have the great blessing here in my dorm. We have a chapel in the dorm. Literally, Jesus is my dorm mate. Just Catholic college things. But anyway, so every second Tuesday of the month, we get to have Mass in our house, which is wonderful, amazing. And so that was yesterday. We got to have Mass in the chapel, in the dorm. And Father Simon gave this marvelous homily on the first reading, which talks about how gold is refined in a fire. And I'd heard, the master gold craftsman puts the gold in this crucible and sticks it in the fire in order to burn out all the impurities. I've heard that before, and it always has impressed me and meant a lot to me about how Christ takes us, sticks us in the fire of difficulties to burn away all of our impurities. But Father Simon introduced something that I'd never heard before, which put a whole new spin on it, and I just thought about it the entire rest of the Mass, and honestly the rest of the day too. He said that it really takes a master craftsman in order to purify gold the correct way, because if you leave it in the fire too long, not only does the dirt and other metals and all the impurities burn away, the gold actually burns. And so, God is really wise with how much difficulty he gives us. He only gives us what he knows we can handle. And he always promises to be with us in our difficulties and to be constantly watching to make sure we're not getting burnt. And B, the way that the master craftsman knows that the gold is ready, free of impurities but not burnt, is he will pull it out and peer into it. And if he can see his reflection in the gold like a mirror, that's when he knows the gold is ready. And the same goes for us. When Christ looks at us and sees him in us as a mirror, then he knows that we are ready. I just love that. I love that. So he said that during the homily, and I just couldn't stop smiling. I was like, oh, God is so cool. He knows I love little analogies like that, and it just makes so much sense. And anyway, there's this song called Refiner's Fire, which has come up in my life a lot. Lots of retreats. It's been one of the main songs, and I just really love the lyrics and love the whole concept of God refining my heart. Because I am gold. You are gold. We are all gold. And God knows that. He sees through the impurities and sees the gold. And so this song means a lot to me. And so we were kneeling after communion in our tiny chapel with probably 12 to 15 girls and Father Simon. And we were kneeling and praying, and I just kept singing this song to myself in my head, and because I love it so much, and it matched the homily perfectly. And I was like, the Holy Spirit was like, hey, you should stop singing it in your head and start singing it out loud. And I was like, it's 7:30 in the morning, and you don't really sound nice at 7:30 in the morning. There's no way I'm going to do that. I'm not going to start a song. No one ever starts a song. I'm not going to be different. What if no one knows it? What if no one joins in? What if I'm just the only one singing and it sounds terrible and then I'm embarrassed? It's like, nope. The Holy Spirit was like, but you should do it. I was like, okay. I'll try not to live in fear. Okay. So I just started singing. Purify my heart, let me be as gold and precious silver. Purify my heart, let me be as gold, pure gold. Refiner's fire, my heart's one desire is to be holy, I choose to be holy, set apart for you, my master, ready to do your will. So I sang that, and I started it, and other people joined in, so I wasn't the only one singing, which is great. And it was just a really good moment because I listened to the Holy Spirit's nudgings by His grace, and I got to share a song that means so much to me, and it was really beautiful. All the other girls who joined in, and we sounded lovely even though it was 7:30 in the morning. And then after Father finished purifying everything and sat back down, and we prayed for a bit, and then when he stood back up for the final prayer, he turned around and he was like, I don't know who started that, but that was beautiful. Sounded lovely, and the lyrics matched the homily perfectly. It's like it was made for it. So thank you to whoever started that. And then he finished Mass and everything. But I was sitting there like, ooh, the chaplain of the college just thanked me without knowing it. But anyway, so later that day, I was walking to my babysitting job, which just happens to be at the bottom of the hill from the Abbey. So as I was walking there, Father Simon was walking down from the Abbey to go to his work. And we passed each other, and he stopped, and he was like, that was you who started the song this morning, wasn't it? And I was like, yeah, Father, you got me. And he looked at me, and he had the biggest smile on his face, and he was like, thank you for sharing. And he wrapped me up in this big old bear hug, and then his eyes were watering, and I don't know if that was from the wind, because it was kind of cold, or if he was like just that touched by the song. Either way, he was touched by the song. All the girls in the chapel were touched by the song, and I learned how to not be afraid. So, let God refine your heart, because He knows how much we can handle. And He's always watching for His reflection. And He will not let us burn. He loves you, and so do I. Have a fabulous day.